different ones. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, girl. Let me sit right. We are down here, girl. I'll be talking about Gregory and his feet and legs dangling from the bed. It might be dangling from the bed too. I need a stool because my because my legs will be dangling off the bed. I don't want them to be dangling like Gregory's off the bed. So the other day I bought another Fenty. I was in Sephora. I was in Sephora and I was looking at their Fenty glosses and I was like, "Oh, this one looks so pretty. This is so pretty. This color is so pretty." You know, I like a natural color. Let's see. See the color. Okay, I like a natural color. So this is like a pinkish color, right? And so I was like, "Oh yeah, because I have another one at home." So I was like, let me see. And then I was like looking at the colors and I was like, "Oh yeah, this one is really pretty. Let me buy this one." So I've been wearing it, right? Really cute. And then I have another Fenty that was sitting on my desk, and I was like, now I have two Fenties. Let me see what color this is. But they're both the same color. I just realized. So I was like, I must really like this color because I honestly did not realize that I already had a sweet mouth. It's sweet mouth. And I didn't realize, I thought I had a different color, but obviously I like this color because I bought another one. And I thought I was buying a different color, but it's the same color as the one that I had. Is this motherfucker on? Let's make sure this motherfucker is on. So they're both Sweet Mouth by Fenty Beauty. I have it on now. You know, like I said, I love neutral, a neutral shade, a neutral color. See, it's very neutral. It just gives you a little glimmer. See, it's right there. It just gives you a little glimmer. So that's what I got going on right here. You understand what I'm saying? My grandmother told me they pay to get these. The people pay to get their lips like this. That's what my grandmother said. That's what my grandmother used to tell me. Baby, they pay for lips like yours, baby. They do. I did my little gua sha this morning. Do y'all do your lymphatic drainage? Ooh, you hear the rain? Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a tragedy, falling on my head like a new emotion. Hey, I wanna like the ocean breeze. I wanna like lovers do. Won't you dive into your ocean? Is it raining with you? So baby, talk to me. Yes, like lovers do. Yes, walk with me like lovers do. Yes. Shout out to Annie Lennox and the Eurythmics. Shout out, okay? Here comes the rain again. Yes, come on, bitch. Like a new emotion. Yeah. Like lovers do. Yes, this is my song. It still is my song. Yes. So what is everybody doing? We are down here. We got the reefer rolled up. Let me sit like I got some sense. Shout out to James Colwell because he was talking about how he sits with one leg bent on people's couches, and it just reminded my grandmother used to, girl, get your feet out of my damn couch because that's how I sit down. I I I fold one leg underneath and sit on that leg and have the other leg. But if I'm sitting on the couch, I actually put both feet up. My grandmother used to get your feet off my couch. But it's so funny because she said that her mother used to sit like that on couches, and it's probably where I got it from. But her mother used to put both of her feet, like put both of your feet like this on somebody's couch. My grandmother would be like, "Get out, get your feet off my couch." But I can't help it. So that's how I went. That's how I had to adjust so I could put one leg underneath, underneath, and sit on it. Do y'all sit like that? Shout out to James Spill It Boy TV because he was talking about that on his video, and I was like, It reminded me of my grandmother telling me to get my feet out of her couch. Because I will plop on your couch and put one foot. I'll take my shoes off, but I'll put one foot underneath. That's how I have to sit. I don't know. Let's go down and see what's going on to the blogs, girl.
I sponsor the I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
I don't know what is happening. Girl, you ain't doing nothing. I don't even know what this is. It says, neighbors, it looks like RHOP Mia Thornton is finally revealing why she walked off of the reunion set following the heated exchange about her parenting this season. If you recall, the ladies held Mia to the flame about her inconsistencies in her story regarding her relationship with Gordon and her on and off again boyfriend, Mr. Inc. Things took a turn when Mia admitted that her son with Gordon was conceived via IVF. Much of her storyline this past season was the paternity of her son and whether he was Gordon or Ink's. Mia claimed she feared that she was already pregnant when she started IVF, but the ladies told her that's not possible because there's blood pregnancy tests given before starting the process. And it's really weird that I didn't watch it. I've checked out. It's been 2 seasons since I've watched Real Housewives of Potomac, but of course I watch the reviews and I see the clips. But I thought it was weird that she thought that she could lie about a process that so many women do. Like, that's not something I could see. Like, although when somebody lies, I say that I have a theory that there's literally 2 reasons why people lie. One out of fear and one out of gain. And a person who lies for no reason, now I'm looking at you odd because you don't have nothing to fear or gain from this lie. So why did you tell it? And then I start looking at you crazy, right? Because why are you lying for no reason? And I figure if somebody's going to lie about something, why wouldn't you lie about something that not too many people could actually verify based on their own experiences, right? Because the clip that I saw, they were all like, wait a minute, no, that's not, you get a blood test, you get a pregnancy test. They were, I think even Ashley was like, no, you don't. I don't even know if Ashley did. Did Ashley do IVF or hers are conceived regularly, naturally? I don't know. But even Ashley was like, no, you don't. You get a blood test. And all of them on the stage were like calling her out for lying. And this person, when I feel like there's literally something pathological about somebody who lies just for no reason, just and like almost like they get like a thrill out of lying. It's fun for them to like make some shit up real quick and see if you'll believe it. Just lying for no reason, pathological. That's when I see Mia, I think of a pathological liar. Mia Thornton, yeah, she needs to be right over there. Like, I was thinking about that yesterday. Y'all talking about y'all don't know who to make of a cast based on what's going down over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Jennifer Williams, did you see that tattoo of her husband? I think that's her husband. He got her husband, he got her face really looked like Candace Dillard Bassett's face on the back of his head, and she's standing there smiling like a fucking idiot, like her brain is missing, like she got a prize, girl. I don't understand what I honestly, that is something I feel like when they say the women need deprogramming and you are standing next to smiling, showing your wisdom teeth, showing the world that this man who was a felon, who was a scam artist, you couldn't even go out of the country because he had to get approval from his probation officer so that you could go marry this friend of Dorothy. Right, so you can be this motherfucker's beard. Right. And you smiling next to him. He got a tattoo of what is supposed to be your face on the back of his head. First of all, who drew that? And fuck that tattoo artist because it's ugly. And for all the money that you claim to have, Jennifer Williams, and you and your man claim to have, why wouldn't you go to one of these super professional artists who specializes in portraits? Like, why would you get that thing on the side of your head and then you have to smile like you approve of it and you're like this? looking stupid. I'm like, girl, put her over there with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Mia, another one. Put her over there with her Real Housewives of Atlanta. They really fit in good. Get Kenya and Cynthia the fuck up out of there. Get them out of there and keep Porsha, Shamea, Kelly, Brittany, Mia, and Jennifer Williams. That's who it should be. Y'all want to give the new look of Atlanta? This is what the women, this is what's going on down there. We marrying scammers so we can give the impression that we're living a life that we're not living, and we're running around in our mid 40s still trying to figure it the fuck out with these men. Marrying at 40 something years old, marrying scammers, like legitimately with no, there's no naivete happening here. These are women whose brains are fully functional. I mean, and I'm using that loosely because I'm starting to think Jennifer Williams is somewhere on the scale. She's somewhere on the scale. Her, Porsha, Mia, all of them. Jennifer Williams, Brittany, they're somewhere on the scale where they are okay with criminal behavior, and they align themselves with criminals so that they can give the impression to everybody that they are living this lavish, luxurious lifestyle, and they're not. Another shallow, dim-witted puddle, Jennifer Williams. She's a Virgo too. You really are such a disappointment. But anyways, Mia, I don't understand why you lie about something that can be easily verifiable by other people, their actual own experience, not somebody that they know. But no, every time I did IVF, I was taking a pregnancy test right before. So how could you not know that did you have two eggs? I mean, did you have two embryos? One with ink and one with Gordon? How the fuck girl, what's going on? Like IVF, I don't understand. Were you getting implanted? Did she get implanted with something? Or were they just pulling her eggs out and then they put it in and then put it in later? Like, how did you not know that it was Gordon's? Why was that even a question? That's weird. The ladies all echoed the same opinion that Mia was simply using Gordon as a storyline, and it was irresponsible to include a paternity issue when there was none. Gizelle told Mia that she was a terrible mother for doing that to her children, who will grow up and see it one day. I don't know if it's equally as terrible as letting a man whose behavior possibly put you on a 5150 hold for you to allow him back on a platform with you and your daughters, Gizelle Bryant, Sister Stove, Big Sister Stove Pipe. Okay? So we can all question your decisions and how it affects the children that depend on you for their survival. We can sit up here and talk about all of that, because you literally let your philandering toy soldier dressed like the Nutcracker on any given day down here, and you allowed him back on your platform. And then how's it going to look to your daughters that after their father remarried, you kept his last name, his funky ass last name? I'd be Gizelle Graves so fucking fast. You wouldn't. And your father was a historical Black American figure. Same thing with Porsha Williams. There would be no way I would be changing my last name. And my father was a figure in the civil rights movement. Girl, please. I wouldn't take no man's name. No man's. I don't give a fuck how, if I was deep in the patriarchy, of a patriarchy princess, I'm not. If my father was a civil rights figure, what's his name? Willie Graves? What was his name? William. What was her father's name? Graves. Even though he was an anti-black colorist too. Didn't he call that woman Aunt Jemima? I mean, we could go through the story about people. Girl, we could pull up files on you motherfuckers. But Gizelle, you let that motherfucker Jamal Bryant back into your space, and he did you the way he did you, embarrassed you, had you looking like a fucking idiot on a grand stage in a church. How your daughter's gonna look back on that? There's no way. Porsha Williams, another one. How your grandfather is Hosea Williams Jr. Why the fuck would you be so willing? It's not Porsha Williams. It's Porsha Glabadia. Your grandfather is spinning in his grave because you changed your name to the name of a scammer that's been scamming since before you were born. And you went and you changed your name from then. And then before that, you got an alleged friend of Dorothy down there in his bunny slippers, Cordell Stewart in bathrooms. We don't know what Cordell was doing. But you was like, you to your out of your own mouth, I was willing to overlook some things, right? So just like you willing to overlook that somebody might be gay or bisexual, that means you're also willing to overlook them being a scammer too. And then you change your name to these men, and your grandfather is Hosea Williams Jr. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I wouldn't be so eager to change my last name to none of these niggas' names. Girl, I'd be graved so fucking fast. Gizelle is a clown. You another clown. You another clown. You can't say nothing about Mia, girl, because we can pull your file. We can pull your file, girl. Girl. How are your daughters going to look at you when they saw you come into somebody's house and accuse a woman that was supposed to be in your cast of her husband not being her child's father? What kind of mother would do some shit like that? Same thing. So while Gizelle can call out Mia for her parenting, we could pull your file too, bitch. Girl. During an interview with her Boo's radio show posted on The Corner, Mia says Gizelle only said that because she was surrounded by security. She also said she left to avoid knocking the brakes off her head. She ended the comment by saying, you know how I keep it real, but it's safe to say the cast and viewers don't know that. All right, let's hear what Mia lies and says.
I bring this up, I'm only using it as a reference. So for knowing you 20 plus years, in any other type of situation,
I was about to knock the brakes off our head, right? You know that, right? We've seen that happen.
Allegedly.
So when the growth was to exit.
Yes.
And let's be real. Okay, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
And I'm a name drop. Gizelle knows daggone well that she would not speak to me that way if there was no security and not the platform. She would get her head knocked off by anybody talking to anybody that way. So the fact that I got up and I was being the bigger woman and I exit left, that let's just be real. Like, who's being real here? She's like, you don't, like, you're not out here talking to people like that. You're being a fake. You're phony. You're doing it because of what's going around. So, and I don't know how to do fake. I don't know how to do phony. I keep it real, right? And I would have really knocked her head off. Okay? So I had to leave.
Well,
yes.
When I bring this up,
I didn't think it's okay, and I actually apologized to her.
And then you got in my face. Then you at her when she was a man. You jumped up from your wherever you were sitting, got in my face, and tried to act like you was gonna do something to me.
Keep my children out your mouth, Mia.
No, you keep my children out my mouth.
I haven't talked about the children. I talked about you. I talked about you. I talked about you.
You getting in my face?
What was this? What's the show?
At the end.
Oh, this was at the end.
Yes.
Show
at the end of the night. No, they did not show it.
They didn't show it.
They didn't show it.
Look at Giselle's nails. She had nails.
You have acted like that. Terrible mother. And I stand by that. No woman, no mother would put their child on a platform to discuss his paternity. No mother would do that. No mother.
That's that's it.
You hear her feet clomping away. Not her feet clunking away.
Yes.
Her feet were clunking. You heard her feet clunking. Clunk, clunk, clunk. First of all, Gizelle, you wouldn't be saying, girl. That's why y'all all slow. That's why y'all need to be over there on with the dimwits and the puddles. That's what y'all need to be over there. Drew, I forgot about Drew. I always forget about Drew because, girl, I'm asleep. We're bored because you making up shit that don't even make sense, girl.
It's more than you, girl. Right. And I'm asleep because I'm bored because you making up shit that don't make no damn sense.
Shout out to Candace. But Mia, girl, you wasn't going to do nothing. Number one. Number two, Gizelle, you don't have any room to talk. You don't. You really don't. Girl, I would wear Gizelle out so bad. She don't, and it's so funny. Giselle's another one. She got rules. She can come out and say everything about everybody else, but she don't have to abide by none of the rules. She can skirt around the rules, jump over the rules, do all the things she wants to do. I didn't know she had nails on at the reunion. They was long as hell too. Let's read some of the comments. Granted, Gizelle was wrong what she said, but girl, you walked off and cried, not stormed at her. Says the girl who left the reunion. Is it just me, or does Ink look younger, like a younger version of Gordon? Mia pours the gasoline. Gizelle just lit the match. That's why Mia ran off crying. I'm sorry. To come from Gizelle's daughters, then turn around and do what she did, girl, bye. She didn't call you a terrible mother. Much like her common sense, I'm sure her fighting skills were nowhere to be found. Looks like it hurts to talk. Was Gizelle lying? Girl, is you even coming back? So that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's go to neighborhood talk and see what else is going on. Kandi reveals she doesn't think Shamea and Porsha are on good terms right now. You know what? I was a friend with a woman from high school all the way up to my early 30s. So I'd say about 15 or 16 years. And we would be friends and we would fall out. Be friends, fall out, be friends, not speak for a while. And then ultimately, I found out that she was going around sharing my shame story. You know, as a friend, a close friend of somebody you've known since high school, you're going to tend to share things that are, share vulnerable things about you and about what's going on. So I was sharing with her after a stint of not speaking to her for a few months, maybe a year maybe. I had my son and she came back into my life, and then I started sharing with her what was going on in my life with the boy's father. And she was actually going back telling our acquaintances and friends and strangers, anyone who would listen, she was maybe reveling, because for the first time, I think it was seeing me like in a relationship with somebody and not having the best experience. And because I am very critical about people in their relationships, she might have been like, girl, that's what the fuck you get. You always talking shit about everybody else, and now you in this fucked up relationship. That's probably the tone of it. But I do know for a fact that a stranger, an acquaintance, a business associate, basically a stranger, came back to me and told me, oh, your quote best friend is talking about you, and she's telling me bop 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 bop. And when whatever the woman repeated, only she knew, right? So I knew that she was talking about me. She was like, oh yeah, she was actually talking about you like you were a stranger. She asked me, how long have you known her? And I was like, since I was 15. She was like, girl, that is not your confidant. Do not confide in her for anything. She is running around and this is what she's saying about you. And when I tell you the fire that went up in me when I found out. And so I just literally backed away from her. She sent me an email. We never spoke after I just kind of backed away. When she would ask me what's going on in my life, I'd be like, oh, everything is fine. Everything is great. I never confronted her about what she did. I knew what she did, right? So I don't need to hear any excuse that you have on why you were in a car driving somewhere for a couple of hours and all you did was talk shit about me and what I have going on in my life, right? So I backed away. It reminds me a lot of Shamea and Porsha. Now, I don't think, I would always hear from my brother and my mother as we were growing up that she was jealous. And I would think, I don't have any more or any less than she has. I'm not sure what she would be jealous about. Like, I didn't get it, right? And then after, like it took me a long time to get over that friendship, the betrayal of that friendship, how long I knew her, how close I allowed her to be to me. And it was really hard to like process that. It was really hard. I felt betrayed, all the feelings, right? And then she wrote me an email. And in her email, she said some things that when I read it to my father, he was like, see, I told you. When you listen to the way she's talking to you in this email, there was something about you that she couldn't capture in herself. And so while you may not have what you think somebody would be jealous of, what you embody, how you show up, that is what she was jealous of. And that's why she would fall out with you. And because you have this thing about you, when she saw you in this situation with this man, she was like, oh, bitch, you're not the girl, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm talking about you to anyone who would listen. And it reminds me a lot of Porsha and Shamea. And I'm sure throughout their time as friends, they have gone years, maybe a year or year and a half, they have gone had spans of time in between them connecting. And I feel like that's the kind of relationship that Porsha and Shamea have. That is the reason why I'm so interested in seeing this storyline play out and how Shamea confronts Porsha about the one-sided relationship. And there seems to be some envy and some jealousy. I think Porsha, in her personality, is just an envious person. She looks at other women and believes like she should have that life. Like she looked at Fallon and believed that she should have that life. She looked at Lauren and believed she should have a baby. She looks at even Kenya Moore. Like I think that was her reason with Kenya Moore. Like I feel like Porsha looked up to Kenya Moore, and when she couldn't get close to her like she wanted to, then she became her enemy, her adversary, right? But if you notice, when the next season would come, Porsha would have like a dress that was similar to Kenya's previous season, right? It was something like she came one year, she had a crown. I think she was pregnant. She came with the crown. Oh, you really want to be a beauty queen? Miss Ma'am really has a sash and a crown, for real, for real. That shit that you got down at Party City, girl, is cute, but you have never been crowned nothing. But you really like that. And that's your issue that's always been the issue with Kenya, right? And I feel her relationship with Shamea is an on again, off again, where it's this one-sided thing. Shamea doesn't give Porsha what she wants for whatever reason. She wants something, she doesn't do something. It's usually, I would guess that it's usually Porsha throwing a tantrum for not getting what she wants out of Shamea, or Shamea not being able to control Shamea. She has a lot of control issues, and when she can't control you, then she falls out. She throws a tantrum, like we saw at the end of this last episode. She throws a tantrum, she gets upset with you, and she becomes the violent, mismanaged anger. That kind of person comes out. And I do have a feeling that that's why they go in and out of their friendship, because it's something about Shamea that she has. Now it for Porsha, because Porsha is not that deep. That's why I call her Stan's puddles, because it's not really that deep. She really just wants all the material things that Shamea has. She might not even care that Shamea is talented for real, can sing for real, can probably dance for real, is really actually talented, can get on and do interviews down, she's friendly to the camera. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but when I think she was doing an interview with either E or Page Six, and she kept looking in the camera. Like she would be talking to the guy that was interviewing her, and then she would look directly in the camera. Shamea is who I'm talking about. Shamea knows what the fuck to do. Those type of things that you would think like, why would anybody be jealous of me? I don't have no more than what she has. I probably have less than what she has. It's not what you have, it's what you embody, right? For some. Porsha, because she's so shallow, it's really about, you have the African husband, you have the $9 million house, you have the Rolls Royce that was a gift, and I hope it's in your name, Shamea, or in your the company of the family company name. I'm sure her husband has set up an LLC for their family. I'm sure it's really organized over there with what Shamea has going on. And I imagine Porsha being envious. And from what I know, Shamea comes from an upper middle class background. She's always had stuff, right? This has always been her life. This is not something she married into, right? Now with Diane and Porsha over there, Diane is pushing Porsha like, oh, cockeyed, weasel-eyed Sheila over there, and Ashley, pushing their daughters towards perceived wealthy men, so that they in turn can be the byproduct of the lifestyle, right? Britt, Edie's mother, let's go down to the whoop-de-whoop bam, right? It doesn't matter how my daughter is getting it, whether she sleeps with a scammer, with a do boy, with a gay man, it don't matter. As long as I can sit up in his bed and eat pizza, as long as I could go down to the spa, I don't care how you get it, daughter. That's Diane. That's definitely Diane, right? And then them going back and forth, always falling out. So Kandi is down here saying that she doesn't think Shamea and Porsha are on speaking terms. Let's hear what she says. Sugar Mama.
In the middle of it. Okay. Love how you support your friends. Can you give us your opinion on why Porsha hasn't supported Shamea's new song like everyone else on her page?
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. Shamea last Friday, she's learned from Kandi, promote your shit, right? So she had a single come out. A lot of y'all said, I heard a bit of it. I thought it was, it sounded good. Shamea doesn't have a bad voice. I thought it sounded pretty good. And so everybody is posting it, right? To show support, not Porsha, once again, right? And there's so much evidence that we have on the file of Shamea and Porsha's friendship that I think it's safe to conclude or come to this diagnosis that it's a lopsided friendship.
I love how you support your friends. Can you give us your opinion on why Porsha hasn't supported Shamea's new song like everyone else on her page? She hasn't?
She posted Tori's show, but she hasn't.
You saying on her show or in her story? Did she post it in her story?
Nothing.
Okay. What I think.
Tori's show clip.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. What I think is that they had some issues during the season and they really don't mess with each other like that right now, but they doing the fake. I'm messing with, like, if they're in the same room or in front of the cameras, or if or people are doing press, they're like, oh yeah, that's my girl, blah, blah, knowing they ain't messing with each other right now. So, yes.
So then post it if we faking it.
Well,
Did you make it?
yeah, I guess she ain't gonna fake it that much. It's crazy being on a show together. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, because it's weird, because you're not supposed to give away any future dramas that's happening in the season. You are told not to give away the season, correct? You know that. So it's kind of their job to allow people to believe what they want until they see whatever falling outs or whatever happens during the season. So I don't ask them questions about what's happening there. I mean, of course, if a blind man can see that it's something happening, but you just don't want to be in the middle of it.
And Porsha might be keeping Shamea around because, like, a lot of friends stay friends with people, right? Not really friends. It's almost like they're frenemies. And that's how I felt with old girl. I felt like she was my friend, but I felt a little bit like it was frenemies. I would allow her to throw fits and tantrums. She was the type, like, if we would go someplace and she wasn't getting attention, all of it, she would want to leave. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And so I would choose my battles with her because I always felt like if we were to really get into it, we would probably end up fighting for real. It was always something there. It was always something there. It was always something there. And we would fight and we would, be friends, and then we'd fall out again. I remember a friend of mine was like, oh, are you guys on speaking terms now, or are you not? And I don't even know how we would resolve our issues to come back to talking to each other. We would just go for weeks. I'm trying to remember. We would just go for weeks and not speak to each other for whatever reason. I said something, she said something. Um, and then she would call me or I would call her, and then we would be cool again. But when I found out she was talking behind my back and actually like a stranger came up, like, I was already ashamed about what I was going through. When you're going through domestic violence shit, the shit be shameful, right? Like, I can't believe I got myself. I'm smarter than this. How did this motherfucker hustle me into this type of fucking relationship? So you'd be embarrassed. It's shame and guilt, a lot of shame and guilt that goes, and that's why a lot of people keep to themselves or kind of isolate themselves because it's shameful. And it was very hard for me to share with her what I had been going through because I'd literally been going through it alone. I would share some of it with my mom. I would share a little bit with my dad, very little with my dad. Um, but I would share a lot with my mom, and I shared with her. I was very it was so such a I was so ashamed. I was ashamed. And when this stranger came up to me and was like, how long have you known such and such? And I was like, oh, since I was 15, girl. She was like, really? And I was like, yeah. She was like, girl, the way she was talking about you and then I was like, what you mean talking about me? She was like, the way she was talking about you was almost like y'all just met. Like she doesn't talk about you like you're a longtime friend. And I was like, why? She was like, because this is what she's telling me. Now, of before it came to me, before I got in contact with the girl, someone else told me you need to call so and so because she told me that your home girl is telling all your business. And she would only tell me, she only told me a little bit of what she said, but she said she wanted to talk to you because the stuff that she was saying was very personal. And I don't know if you want everybody knowing that. And then when I finally talked to the woman, she was like, do not confide in her. She's not your confidant. That's exactly what she said. I will never forget that. She said, she's not your confidant. Don't tell her nothing. She's telling everybody your business. And from then on out, I just started backing away from her. And when she would ask me what's going on, how I was doing, everything's great, everything's fine, everything's perfect. And I just backed away. I stopped calling her, stopped messing with her, this and that, all this stuff. And it was so funny because we had stopped talking and we started talking again after my son came. And then she was even like, oh, I'm auntie. I was looking at her like, you're not auntie nothing. I don't give a fuck. You not auntie nothing. Not to my kids. No, ma'am. Not knowing that you running around telling people my business. No, ma'am. You not auntie nothing, bitch. So let's listen to Kandi.
She hasn't.
She posted
You saying on her show or in her story? Did she post it in her story? Okay. What I think. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. What I think is that they had some issues during the season, and they really don't mess with each other like that right now. But they doing the fake. I'm messing with, like, if they're in the same room or in front of the cameras, or if or people are doing press, they're like, oh yeah, that's my girl. But knowing they ain't messing with each other right now. So yes. Well, yeah, I guess she ain't gonna fake it that much. It's so crazy. It's crazy being on a show together. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, because it's weird, because you're not supposed to give away any future dramas that's happening in the season. You are told not to give away the season, correct? You know that. So it's kind of their job to allow people to believe what they want until they see whatever falling outs or whatever happens during the season. So I don't ask them questions about what's happening there. I mean, of course, if a blind man can see that it's something happening, but you just don't want to be in the middle of it. Love how you support your friends. Can you give us your opinion?
Kandi has been wanting Shamea and Porsha to fall out. She can't hide that, Gran. But it's not that she wants them to fall out. It's knowing that they're going to be cool later and then they're going to fall out again. Like, I'm pretty sure that's Shamea and Porsha's relationship. Kandi is that one that's going to tell the truth and give real talk. I'm not surprised. If you really watch the show, you'd see that Porsha was never really a good friend to Shamea. There's so much evidence. And this is just what we see edited. You understand what I'm saying? I believe Porsha wanted to be the head peach in charge this season, but Shamea took all the spotlight. Maybe it's a little jealousy. I don't know, but hope they work it out. I got the same feeling, but definitely hope they get back on good terms soon. Porsha always seemed jealous of Shamea's life. Honestly, it never seemed like she cared for her. We keep talking about this friendship. Leave it to rest. They've been friends for how long? It's going to stay that way. Can we talk about Mrs. Waffles, though? Just doing the most for attention. Like, beautiful. Just chill. Let it marinate and cook before you cook. Marinate a bit before you cook it. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Kandi should mind her business. Andy Cohen asked both Porsha and Shamea about their friendship. They both responded. This is tacky. Porsha hasn't liked or commented not one single thing about Shamea's new songs. People really get jealous when they're not in the spotlight. Now, if they aren't on good terms, it's going to make it look like Porsha make me look at Porsha with a side eye. I don't like that because I love Porsha. So no way y'all let this show come in between a lifelong friendship. No, I'm telling you, once they start talking about their friendship, it's gonna come out that they go, it's an off and on, it's an off and on relationship, and now it's a relationship because it's been going on so long. You feel obligated to maintain it. It is really hard for girlfriends to come that have been friends for a long time to come to end the relationship. It's worse than a romantic relationship. It really truly is. That friendship took me almost 5 years to be able to talk about it without becoming angry. Like, I don't, you can watch some of my old videos. You can tell, like, when I start talking about this particular situation with that girl, that I used to get upset, still upset about it. But now I can talk about it because I've processed it out. It's been so long. You know what I'm saying? I've processed it out. It's fine. And now I could talk about it and share what I've learned from it. But it took me a long, I was angry. I felt betrayed. Like, when I tell you the feeling of betrayal, it's just like, but, and so badly that I really want to fight. I told my mother, don't, if I die, that bitch better not be at my funeral. I'll hunt everybody if that bitch shows up to my funeral. I don't want her faking like she even ever cared about me. When I tell you I was angry, I went through all the stages, angry, mad, everything. And then in this conversation, I came to realize that as a girl growing up, where I was like the only Black person in my friend group, then when I got to high school, I had more Black friends and I maintained a relationship with her in an effort to keep my connection to my racial identity, because I was literally always the only Black girl in my friend group until I went to high school. And then I started to get more Black friends. And she was the one that I maintained a relation. We even moved to a different state together. Like, I maintained a relationship with her. But it was because I wanted to be connected to my racial identity. I maintained that relationship with her. But then I had to realize, like, it's not a good relationship. It was a toxic relationship. It was on again, off again. And then there was that, like, my mom, my brother, my dad used to always be like, she's jealous, and I would be like, no, she's not. That's so dumb. And other people looking in on a relationship, they can tell you what they see. And I was like, no, she's not. No, she's not. And then years later, when she wrote me that email and I read it to my dad, he was like, see, I told you, I always told you that girl was jealous of you. And she said something, she said several things that alluded to me being able to motivate people, being able to have children, because she had endometriosis, and I don't think was able to have children. So I think that it might have been something, because she mentioned it in the your ability. What she said, your ability to make children, or something like that. She said something like that, to that effect. So it was like a plethora of things, like, oh, you're going through all this, so now I'm, telling you, like, when I tell you, we fell out. We fell out, and I just backed away. And I'm telling you, that's one of the reasons why I'm really interested in seeing this relationship between Porsha and Shamea, and how they talk about it and how Porsha receives it. I don't think Portia's going to be receptive to it. And I think Shamea is Portia's supply. That's what I think. Right. And I think that Shamea has some unresolved people pleasing that she needs to work on, and maybe she'll see herself and work on that. But she has some unresolved people pleasing, and that's the reason why she's maintaining the relationship with somebody that she knows is like, oh, she's my friend, but you're maintaining this friendship out of obligation because you've been friends for so long. You know how people we've been in this relationship so long, we might as well maintain it. Even though y'all fall in and out of the relationship, it's never consistent. Y'all fall in and out of the relationship because you're not really in a relationship where there's a reciprocity. It's hard to sustain a relationship when one person is just doing everything and the other person is just siphoning. like the way she hopped into that back seat of that car. Bitch, I haven't even been in the back seat of the car. How are you hopping in my shit on my birthday, walking up 3 hours late? That we say it's passive aggressive, but it's directly aggressive. It really is very direct. It's very aggressive. And when she does it with a smile, like I say, big booty and a bunch of teeth, I think she hypnotizes everybody. It's pretty privilege with her that she's able to be this person that, like, her character is kind of low, but she smiles and she gives a good face and she got a little good makeup on and she got a cute little outfit, and everybody's like, oh, but I like her. And we see how she is in her friendships. We see how she is at work. We see she's able to tell lies on people that can possibly change their reality, but those same people forgive her. That's why for me, I see right through it. I see right through it. And I guess some people are just going to have to realize, yeah, like when you weigh all the way that she shows up in her relationship, she's just not really a good person. Like, her character is super duper low. And then, like, for her to literally be on television, like, crying, acting like, oh, I didn't know this about this man, when, like, the rumor is, right, the African that bought you the Rolls Royce, that's somebody that's has some relation or familiarity with Simon, right? His cousin, right? So you've been on the prowl to get you an African, right? And now here comes this guy. He's been married you're his fifth wife. One of the marriages weren't real. Did you talk to his ex-wives? Did you see what Fallon left with? No, you were so focused on mimicking the life that this woman had. And I never noticed it. Somebody said in the comments, and I need to go back and watch that episode, that when Porsha walked up to Simon and Fallon's house, that she actually put her hand on the door like she was going to let herself in. Now, I don't know if that's a thing because you already know you're walking up to this house and production has already been in the house and they've set up. So you're just going to walk in and you forgot you're supposed to act like this lady is supposed to open the door for you. I don't know if you forgot that or you were just so familiar of walking into some fucking man's house. This lady's and this man's house.
It's fine. I have nothing to worry about. Meanwhile.
Hey, everyone. How are you? You're good? Boom, boom. Yes.
And then we're down here with her wanting to, like, fighting to film in the house, fighting to film with the cars. They're not even really her. So it's just like this, we're all just supposed to be like in this make-believe fucking, like I said, fantasy land, Mr. Toad's wild ride with this woman. And everybody's like, oh, she's so nice and because she's so pretty and this and that. That shit, it doesn't work for that. Girl, Portia's halo effect is not working on me. I see the tail. Girl, I see the tail. So what else is happening? Plies drops copyright lawsuit against Megan Thee Stallion, Gorilla, and Soulja Boy. Hey, he don't wanna be saved. Hey, I need to cut that out. He don't want to be saved, don't save him. That's not my nigga, don't claim him. Yes. White boy wasted Channing Tatum. All right, let's see what else is happening. Bad Bunny stars in a Calvin Klein's new underwear campaign. Okay. Oh. You know, I love tattoos. I love tattoos. Tell your story, honey. I wonder what they mean. They all look very intentional. What is that one on his back? Oh, it's huge. Okay, Bad Bunny. I'm not mad at it. Tamar says Tony's post was to be mean. Shares recent text messages. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. It's my birthday. I'm celebrating with my friends and not bothering a soul. You did it to be mean. Like we don't talk. Happy birthday to me anyway. Love you too. What is this? To ATL, thinking of you. Orange hearts. Are you in LA? ATL. Tony Braxton wanted to repost that gorgeous picture of you, but I'm blocked again. Anyways, happy birthday, Tay. And how does she do that to be mean? It says it's my motherfucking birthday. Don't get me wrong. I'm so humble, will always be, but in this chapter, I'll never dim my light so others can shine. This time I'm remembering who the fuck I am because I almost forgot. The Tamar Braxton. Girl, I hope you are. Chapter 48. I hope you are doing it and getting it together. I hope no nigga can swoop in and burn the rest of the book and you allow him to do it. But I don't know. Tony posted a galaxy like she's in outer space, so she can't really give send Tamar a message. She said she was blocked. I guess Tamar is calling her a lie. But you can unblock somebody and then come out and say they're lying. All right. Oh my God, I gotta go. So Tamar and Tony, girl, that sisters fighting, girl. I don't know what to say. Anyway, so take care of each other. I'm out of here, y'all. Take care of each other. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I can't wait to see Porsha and Shamea's friendship. How they discuss this is very. This is going to probably be the best storyline for me. That's might be the reason why I stay tuned in, see how far they're going to take this thing with Shamea after Kenya leaves. I want to watch. I want to see that relationship. That's the storyline that I'm really tuned in for. Anyways, y'all take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.